Welcome back to Let's Play the Cave. I'm School Monkey, and I'm here with Geop.
Getting some deja vu here.
Yeah, we haven't done this before.
No.
So the thread has chosen the characters that we're going to play, and Geop doesn't know anything about any of this.
I don't know much of anything.
Okay, at least you're honest about it.
I guess we're done. Well, impatient, aren't we?
And also, in the previous attempt we had, I was grumpy because apparently the thread didn't like the hillbilly.
The scientist. Okay, slow down. Okay, next up. The monk.
Are we ready? This is the start of the game.
Oh, Mr. Monk needs to go on a diet.
I like how the scientist is just, like, chilling out. He's not freaking out at all. There was a bunch of stuff in the background there, too. That'll give you hints about what the levels coming up are, actually, if you can spot them.
Employees only door. So this is the side quest where you have to go off and get a part-time job?
Yeah, that's exactly what you have to do.
Adventure games have gotten a lot more expansive recently.
I paused here because I wanted people to notice that there's a diorama of the cave gift shop in a diorama of the cave gift shop in the cave gift shop.
My head hurts.
So now we're going to talk to this guy.
Oh, I hope you're not here to visit the cave, because we're closed. A gruesome and horrific accident has occurred, and there's no way we can open. No way. I shudder to even describe to you what has transpired. For the nightmares will forever haunt your every thought.
Well, if you insist.
When I came in, we had no trinkets to sell in the gift shop.
We can talk to him some more. And actually, I'm going to exhaust his dialogue here.
Oh.
Yeah. Make him work for his paycheck.
Oh, the humanity. I'll never be the same. Some things you can't unsee. What am I going to do now? I can't lose my job. I need the health insurance. The cave is doomed without gifts. How am I going to make my fiscal quarter projections now, huh? This is the end of the cave. The end, I tell you. There's nothing to experience here except bitter disappointment. Why would anyone visit a dark, damp hole in the ground without getting to buy an I caved and bought this shirt t-shirt? Hey, if you're gonna stick around, could you at least, pretend to be an indecisive customer paralyzed by choice?
Right, that's the end of that
Well,
talking.
Could we give him a name?
Sure. Do you have a name in mind?
I'm thinking he looks like a Carl.
Okay.
He's not having the best of luck, and he could also rename this place to just Carl's Bad Caverns.
I'll never be the same.
No.
Da-da-da.
There is a way I could reopen.
It's an American
allowing
game
you
joke.
fine
I understand.
adventurers
Okay.
to partake in
Okay.
the unique experience that only the cave has to offer. I just need 3 small trinkets to sell. Just 3. Let me say that
Watch
number
this.
again. 3. Take this giant novelty-sized key. It's cute, isn't it? Open the employee's back entrance. I'm sure you'll find some treasures worthy of the cave's gift shop. That's not a trinket worthy of the cave gift shop. Haste makes waste is a stupid saying. Still, get cracking. 3 trinkets. It's not like I'm asking for 100 trinkets. Or even 5. That's the number of trinkets I need to reopen the cave. Hey, what number comes after 2? 3. That's the number of trinkets I need to reopen the cave. Haste makes waste is a stupid saying. Still, get cracking.
I was impressed just how zoomed out it is, and he had all these little animations and emotes and stuff.
Yeah, he's good. I think the game is going to interrupt us again in just a second.
He is a funny little man, isn't he? I should probably fire him. I think he's dipping into the till.
But yeah, Carl, he has a very kind of Psychonauts look about him.
He does.
My cats are fighting.
Those are your cats?
Those are my cats.
The audio sounded like some warped demonic growl, like.
They're fighting over the bed. That's the same guy as the cave narrator. Actually, his name is Stephen Stanton. So you'll notice that those guys caught up with us. We left them behind, just kind of treading water, and there they are.
I was actually curious about that. So this isn't completely a full-on Lost Vikings sort of thing, where you had to hand-hold and lead into each individual one.
No, that would get super old. You do still have to do it in some sections, though, unfortunately. So that thing over there is a cave painting, and when you touch those, you unlock pictures that tell each character's story. We can't actually get over there, because that's kind of a puzzle, and one that we're going to skip kind of in a second, actually, because we have the right characters to do it. So I'm kind of walking around as the monk now, just showing everybody what's here.
How is that well over there broken?
There's no crank on it.
Oh, okay. I was thinking there's a hole in the ground. It's got water. It's got a bucket and a rope. It seems like a functional well to me.
No, there's no way to get the bucket up. There's no crank.
Oh,
so,
that's not doing well at all.
In fact, you might say it's a poorly.
Oh.
We have the time traveler, though.
Oh.
And her power is to go through things. So we can...
Oh, no clip.
Yep, cheat a little bit. And I'm going to activate this. So this is part 1 of the monk's story.
Oh, okay. I was curious how I'd do the storytelling stuff for these characters.
Yeah.
So it's just a few little screenshots for each one. You just have to piece together a story. I like that.
Yeah, there's 8. There's actually more than 8, but you're kind of only told that there's 8. So what we have to do with this puzzle, it actually takes both characters to pull both levers.
Oh.
And so now you have to swap to the third character to pass through. And this happens a lot in the game. And we'll see that again actually in this video. But when she pulls that one, it locks the gate open. So what I'm going to end up doing with these videos, just to explain really briefly, is I have one character kind of scout ahead, and I'll have them kind of show the level so people can start to perhaps identify the puzzle elements themselves when they're watching. Because I don't want to just zip through and solve all the puzzles immediately, because that sounded boring. So she's going to scout ahead here.
The skeletons in this game are...
There's no dying in the cave.
Hello.
At least not this soon. So much left for them to learn.
They've got big heads, don't they?
I would say the skeletons are pretty sizable compared to the character models. Wow.
You know, the truth is, I can't let anyone die in here because of what it would do to my insurance rates.
And I didn't do it here, but he actually, keeps commenting on if you repeatedly kill yourself. And if you do it too much, he'll, say he'll stop because he thinks you're doing it for fun. So this is the first part of the time traveler's story. So that's what the future looks like, I guess.
Behold, the future! The world of tomorrow!
Alright, so this is actually how you're normally supposed to solve that puzzle and get over there. So there's an old well, and it has a crank, but nothing on it.
But isn't that technically a broken well as well?
I guess it would be. Maybe it's just old. It's not broken, it works, it just doesn't have a bucket, I guess.
But that's still a part that's missing. I'm confused.
It's okay. Don't worry too much about it, it's a video game.
Okay. Hey, speaking of fuse box. It's all coming together.
Yep. Alright, so that will do a thing.
Oh.
And normally, if you just try and grab this, watch what happens.
Like I said, there's no dying in the cave.
Yeah. I see on the left you can play a crane game, and just like those crane games, everything falls out of the claw.
Yep.
Is that still part of a puzzle?
It is part of a puzzle. Falling out is not part of a puzzle. But she can science it out because she's a scientist. I guess knowing science makes her immune to being electrocuted.
I know how to solve this. I'll go write a massive dissertation. That'll help us. That's science.
How about I just apply a really complicated equation to this?
Problem's still not fixed.
Alright, so now we can use these machines.
think that's what the label says. Oh, dog.
Dog. So we've got ourselves a new grog.
What about classic grog?
Well, there's a couple of different flavors of grog from the looks of the machine.
Oh, what do I say?
We've just scienced ourselves a new grog. Nobody else can get a grape grog. Just her.
That's a
I think
funny
one of
little...
them says diet grog or something.
Oh, that's the worst.
I really like the way that hot dog just kind of flopped out of the machine.
Yeah.
I really like the animations in this game. If you actually watch characters when they're landing and stuff, they'll land in different ways. And they'll climb slightly differently and things like that. So we actually are going to put this back so we can power the crane, if that makes sense, because we still need it. And again, if you just try and pop it back in, it'll kill you.
Take like a fuse, leave a fuse.
There's
sort
no
of box.
dying in the cave.
Yeah. I don't understand why the fuse won't stay in there. I mean, you died, but the fuse didn't die. But we have to science it back in. Now, the puzzle normally, which we're going to do now...
How did science help that?
She put on rubber gloves, I guess. Normally, the way you have to solve this puzzle is to take this crank back here. I'm doing this because I actually want the bucket. Even though we don't need it here, I want it for later.
Go!
You'll actually note that it changed from broken old well to old well once we applied the crank. So now we have our bucket.
Oh.
And I think I'm a little bit indecisive here about who to take.
I think this... I think that other well pales in comparison to this one.
Well, this one actually seems to have, water at the bottom of it. I don't know if the other one does.
You can mark that off the bucket list.
You're awful. So who do we know who might like a nice warm hot dog?
It's not really a hot dog, though. It doesn't have a bun or anything.
It's so it's just a weenie.
Yeah, it's just sort of like that was kind of defective. Bit of spikes.
That doesn't quite work.
What? You look quite satisfied with yourself, Mr. Monk. Did you solve a puzzle? I'm not seeing the solution here.
He's cleansing his mind of having to touch meat.
Yeah, namaste. I don't care. Whatever.
So we're gonna have the time traveler on crane duty. Have you figured out what the puzzle here is yet? What we gotta do?
I think so.
Okay. Well, you'll be...
I want to see if I've got the right idea or not.
See if you've got it right.
If you can still grab it and pull that spike out or something.
Almost.
Oh.
So we will ring the dinner bell. Ring the bell. Come on. Right. He's not bothered by the spikes.
It was a rock monster.
I feel kind of bad every time I do that.
Oh, poor fella.
Doesn't seem very nice. And so now we've got the scientist's first story. So she's doing...
Theoretical research.
I theoretically do research all the time.
Yep, that's a hyperbola on the top. Right?
All right. So here's a dramatic moment for some reason. All you have to do is just jump down, and then you just... But there's a lot of stuff that they just sort of put in the background.
I know some stuff in the water. Like, was that like a part of a plane wreckage I saw?
Yeah, I think it was a plane.
Huh.
And I'm not sure how much of these things are like nods to some of their other games and things that they like. Because I know they had Amelia Earhart in one of the Sam & Max games. So the puzzle here is we've got flame, dynamite, and wall. This one's one of the easier ones. And normally you're not supposed to stand right next to the wall when you blow it up, but I felt like it, so...
Well, Mr. Monk probably doesn't know how TNT works.
Oh. Oh, wait, so we're searching for trinkets. And here's our first trinket.
Hey!
See, I think this might be a nod to Brutal Legend or something.
Might be.
Maybe.
I can't tell. I don't think he has the main character's hair, but still.
Oh. I don't think he has any hair.
This guy, is that a hat or a wig?
I think it's a hat. It's like a cowboy hat, maybe. All right. This is the way that we go for the second one.
Yep. Spoke too soon. There's a tire in the foreground. It's a pun on wheels.
Oh. That's bad. Okay, this puzzle. Normally you have to have one person stand on the plate while the door opens. But because we have the scientist and there's a computer there, we can make her do science.
Oh god, it's a blue screen of death and it's scrolling. That's even worse.
There's so many errors. And she just turned it off. That's how we fix it. We just turn it off.
I wonder if it's science or if she's just actually computer literate to some degree.
That's possible. It doesn't seem, that difficult to avoid getting electrocuted.
Which the futuristic person's sort of like, I can't jack my Oculus Rift into this. I don't understand how to use this user interface. Oh. Thespians.
I don't know if you played far enough into Psychonauts to get to the theater level, but I thought that might be a nod to Psychonauts.
Maybe the furthest I got was the miniature level, where you're on the tabletop sort of thing with Napoleonic things.
Oh, that's pretty far. That's almost the end.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad I didn't beat it.
Oh, maybe someone will do a Let's Play.
Someone did, but I gotta play it.
What I'm doing here is... I want to bring the bucket with me for a reason. But you'll notice where I carried the bucket all the way from where I got it. And if you notice where we've just ended back up, I should have just left it where I found it.
I was sitting there thinking, did we use the bucket?
No. I want to bring the bucket with me for a future level.
You can't leave Mr. Bucket behind.
Yeah, but at this point, I've wasted more time trying to manage the bucket because I'm trying to ferry it up to take it with me in the future.
Science lady is a pro at climbing that rope, one hand.
She is. The monk does the same thing, actually. One-handed rope climbing. He's pretty good.
I'm kind of curious how the twins would handle that.
Actually, it's pretty funny the way they do it. So now I have to come back and get this. I'm sort of relaying this, and there was really almost no need for me to do that at all. So this is kind of an example of, I think, what people mean when they say it's really repetitive and you have to do some backtracking, because the item management, it's not always clear, which ones might be useful in future levels. You'll always be given what you need for a future level, but in order to trigger some shortcuts and stuff, sometimes you have to take things with you. We could have taken the fuse with us too, but it's not really worth it. So we've got these guys' trinkets. Give them back.
Well, that's one trinket. A far cry from 3 trinkets.
What a jerk.
Well, Carl, you're a pretty tough customer.
Trinket numero 2. Maybe I didn't pay attention during math class, but 2 is less than 3.
It's pretty smug.
Had enough of your sass there, pal.
Yeah. I'm actually just getting the bucket.
Is that the last trinket?
Actually, I think I try and give it to him.
It's sort of like, here you go, you jerk.
Yeah.
Got 2 good ones and 1 okay one.
Yeah. Actually, I'm sure I try and give it to him. Here we go.
Oh, sure. That's a trinket worthy of the cave gift shop. In stupid universe.
It's an authentic bucket. From the cave.
It is. It's from the cave.
Glorious trinket. I have to say, you have surprised me. I figured you'd give up after 1.
And, he's not opened the door for us yet, so...
Oh, right. Sorry.
And here I'm having her try to, buy the postcard, but she won't do it, I guess, so I just take it.
Whatever. Oh.
And, now we get signed. It's the cave's limited liability waiver. You must be pretty experienced in legalese by now.
Experienced with caves and legalese. I understand it all, don't worry.
You're the full package.
Well, that was a close one. It does bode well for our intrepid spelunkers that they navigated that maze of intrigue. I have high hopes for this group, much better than the last. I think they may still be down here. I should probably get them out. Nothing scares away the tourist like a rotting corpse.
So we actually got an achievement for stealing that postcard. It didn't pop up or anything, but you stole from the gift shop.
Do you do anything with it, or is it just...
The thing that you do with it is you carry it all the way through the game with you, and then you get another achievement at the end.
Oh, so it's like the whole gnome thing. Oh, there's falling damage.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't be bothered to take the postcard with me through the whole way, because that's just too much item management. So I figure my telling everybody that there's an achievement with that is enough.
Just take her word for it, Thread.
Yep. Someone commented that he's wearing his robe upside down. I can't really tell, but maybe
Getting kind of a Avatar Last Airbender sort of feel from that.
Kind of is.
Here's the forehead painting, I don't know.
Well, maybe that's a thing that they actually do. I don't know.
Maybe.
So we've got another box puzzle here. Again, this is a pretty basic one. All we need to do is keep them from dying when they fall down. So she can just...
Science Lady has hover boots.
No, that's a time traveler.
Well, she has... I'm sorry, I mixed up my names. She has hover boots. Why is fall damage a concern? Come on now.
I don't know. Or maybe it only works, for a couple of feet. That always kind of bothered me, actually, when I played it.
It's like, what's the point of having hover boots if it can't protect you from falling?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and check that picture, but I was wondering if people are sort of hovering around in the sky, because she can only hover like a foot off the ground. So we needed all three to trigger that. If you see, there's 3 lights. And now we're just going to continue. The way you carry on through the cave is by falling down a lot. So this is actually where we're going to see the first, I don't know what you would call it, if it's like a little branch or a little side area. There's a linear path through the cave that everybody has to go through each time, which involves 3 repeating areas. But each character has their own little branch off, which you can access if you have that character. So this is the knight's area. He can be invincible, but he can't move. So if we had him, we'd be able to get through that fire. Oh. And there's nothing down to the right. We just get blocked off, really. Huh. We can't really do anything in his area.
Interesting.
So we just have to skip that. Which isn't necessarily clear if you're playing this game for the first time. And these guys catch up to me. You kind of glimpse them in the corner of the screen, and then I go back just to check. Like, am I sure you're there? You okay? All right, let's go. And here we go, fall again. So we got some little glimpses of things there, which we won't be able to see in this playthrough. And this is another area that we can't access. We actually need the hillbilly for this one, because he can breathe underwater.
I told you, Thread. Should have gone with the hillbilly.
Should have gone the hillbilly. I really like the hillbilly's level. It's a carnival. Alright, and this right here is the beginning of the first of the sort of universal sections. And I'm going to stop the video in just a moment. Yeah, so that'll be the next video.